How are you doing today? In case you don't know me, my name is Witchy Cupcake and welcome to the Cupcake Coven. So, how is everybody doing on this full moon eve? I hope you are well. Whoop, a wild muffin wizard has appeared.
Hello all.
So, basically, let's do a little update, right?
Okay.
Okay, so
Well, first thing...
This is the update.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we were supposed to stream for Thanksgiving. We were really excited. We had bought all this awesome food to make.
Mm-hmm.
We got everything ready. And then what happened?
The streaming computer for the kitchen died.
Yep. And it was way too late. We just had to cook for ourselves because we had to eat. But sadly, we weren't able to spend Thanksgiving with you guys. And I'm really sad about it. But, you know, it happens, so.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I usually would take better care of the computers, but we took really good care of that computer. I don't know why it just died out of nowhere. So
Yeah.
I don't know what else I can do. So.
And so... it happens indeed. Yes, it does.
The good news is, can I give them a little bit of an update about the computer?
Yeah.
So, initially, the computer we had in here... Can I run and grab it and show them how tiny it was?
That's
It's your channel,
kind of unnecessary.
so you could... Okay. So the computer that we originally used in here, we used because it was really tiny. It was literally this big. It was this little tiny black box.
Yes.
And it fit the location great, you know? A couple of weird little things was it was very underpowered. It did not have enough RAM. It did not have the necessary components inside that would
Your
assist.
phone is like showing.
That would assist in streaming, like GPU hardware for decoding and stuff like that. But one thing it also did is it was really loud. If you go back and you watch the old streams or any of our old highlights when we're cooking, you'll hear, that's the computer's fan. Because when we're like streaming, it would like ramp up because it was like working really hard because it was such a tiny computer.
Yeah.
And I guess it just eventually died, and we have piles of computers.
Yeah. But not to be like, oh my gosh, we have so much money, or to, like, if any, like, what's it called? Like, thieves are listening out there, passing by the stream. No, because they're all really, really old parts that he gets from, like, people left this old computer from, like, 10, 20 years ago in the company, and they're throwing it out, and he says, hey, can I get it? And the boss is like, yeah, absolutely. Or sometimes they're like, yeah, you can get it for like $5.
Yeah.
So like we have a lot of pieces and different like technically computers, but we don't have anything that's like super modern or powered, I guess. That's why our stuff is always breaking and we're always like moving stuff around. Just I mean it's the truth, you know?
Yeah, the stuff that we have is, I like to make what I call Frankenstein computers because they are made out of very old parts. And Witchy will attest to this. So I Frankenstein together a computer out of parts a while ago, and I just had it sitting around, and it's actually better than the old one. It's quiet.
Yeah.
Like,
by
it's
the way,
dead quiet.
Ashford said, I think I was tone deaf and couldn't hear it regarding the noise.
So you can call it 2 in 1 dice.
Okay, you can't read it low, you need to read it loud.
Okay. Astrid says, graveyard of computer bits so you can cobble everything together when one dies. Yes. Actually.
Precisely. So
we were able to get this computer pulled out of the... Oh, speaking of which, how is the stream for everyone? Is it super smooth?
Because this computer is technically better, right?
It's better, but also it's running off Wi-Fi right now.
Oh.
Yeah. Because it has a dedicated wireless card. It's pretty good. We never have to run a giant blue cable across our apartment again. Yay!
Fancy. It's a
cool.
tangled.
So yeah, it's technically the parts are even older than the previous computer.
Asher said, though you're kind of dim lit. Tails said, looks good to me. Oh wait, yeah, no, that was purposeful.
Yes, that is. Yes. I was gonna make like a whale joke, like it's on purpose.
Oh my gosh. I should say that's my screen filter. No, it's actually us. I mean, it could be your screen filter too, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, we are with a different lighting today because we're going to be doing witchy stuff for the first time on stream.
Yep.
You know, aside from the cooking spell that we've done. Okay, so are we done talking about Thanksgiving and the computers and everything? Or do you have more to say?
I always have more to say about computers. But no, we're done. Tingle says, Wizard is like, I'll talk about computers all day. I
no
will.
Kidding.
Yes.
He most certainly will.
That is a promise.
So, for this holiday season, we are doing something that is called, wait for it, drum roll, Witchmas! Yay! And so, our Witchmas consists of the following. Can someone do exclamation Witchmas, all written together, Witchmas? And then I will read it to you guys. So it says, leading up to 2021, followers who send a nice message in chat will get the opportunity to have an ornament put on their behalf on our Witchmas tree. If you would like to follow the channel, which is free, and become a part of the Cupcake Coven, you can do so by clicking the heart icon at the top right corner of the screen. So basically, you know, you guys have already followed a while ago, and obviously, just for the fact that you are talking in chat without trolling.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, because if a troll comes in and doesn't count, you get an ornament on our Witchmas tree.
Wait.
So, like, today, though, since we're in the kitchen, the tree isn't here. It's going to be in the background of the gaming setup. Mm-hmm. And so both Tangle and Astrid so far get an ornament. Woo! If you want it, of course. You know, you don't have to. It's just, like, to make it a little bit fun. We have some different ones to choose from. Mm-hmm. It's kind of exciting. And I'll show you guys when we do our next stream over there, I guess. And then we can put it on the little tree.
Woo!
Yeah. So, as you guys can see in today's title, today is full moon. Woo! So, for all of us witches out there, it's very exciting.
Yes.
I think for normal humans as well, because full moon is kind of cool, isn't it? Like, you look up and it looks real neat.
It is pretty cool.
Studies have shown, though, that people go kind of crazy during the full moon.
Yeah.
That may or may not be true. Depends. If you work in retail, it means all the crazies will come out. It's true that everyone goes insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Astrid said, this morning it was pretty to see the moon over some of the houses. Yeah. The other day we were driving around, right? And we looked at the mountains and the moon was just coming up from the horizon of the mountains. Mm-hmm. Is that called a horizon though? Just from behind the mountains? From the
I would
skyline?
say over the mountaintops, because horizon would be like looking out at the sea or looking out at plains, and you literally see just flat water or flat earth meet with the sky, and that's the horizon.
Yeah, because it's
there's
like
a mountain
horizontal.
Away, then you see the moon coming over the mountaintops. I don't know.
Anyways, it looked huge and so pretty, didn't it?
It did.
It was, yeah. And the bad thing is that, like, if you try to take a picture of it, it doesn't really do it justice.
No.
So, that's the thing. I should say it has very few horizons in my immediate area. Oh, interesting. Yeah, we had gone up the hills to look at the mansions. Guys, those mansions. Okay, I need to know who those people are. Like, I really do. One day, I would love to do a social experiment where we just go up to these houses, like, knock on their doors and be like, hi, I'm a 30-something-year-old who wants to know how to, succeed in life. What do you do? How did you get to this point? How do you live in a mansion that's the size of a 5-story building? I don't know. But then, they'd call the cops on me and say I was like a creepy stalker or something.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, that's not going to work. But wouldn't it be great to just know how those people got there?
It would be. I would love to know.
And here's the thing. I know that a lot of people, it's probably because they inherited stuff from, like, their great-grandfathers and then their grandpas and then their dads. Like, they founded some sort of company and just kind of passed on to them. Stuff like that. So I understand that. But I also know that there might be some, like, self-made people out there, and I want to know what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, we've looked at houses. And we've seen that houses that are like $2, $3, $4, $5 million. If you've got like $2, $3, $4, $5,000 a month for rent, which if you're an executive of a company, you can have like a multi-million-dollar mansion and pay it off over 30 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see what people are saying. Tangled said, you need long ass exposure and a dark as hell ISO. Lol, Witchy. Oh, for the picture of the full moon. You know about photography.
Yeah.
They're doctors, lawyers, or CEOs. Exactly. Hello, my name is XXS. I'm doing a socioeconomic inquiry regarding the lifestyles of the people who live in this style of home. Exactly.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be a great social experiment? I feel like it would.
It would be, yeah.
But anyways, so we were thinking one day we should either like make a video around there, because I don't think we could stream because the connection would be so finicky on the phone.
Yeah, it would be.
But that might be interesting. Also, like, we go to all different sorts of places, so it's not like, I don't think it would like expose where we live or anything like that. So, but yeah, that'd be kind of fun because
we go to places in like a huge circle. Yeah.
Asher said, and make sure you're dressed super nice with notebooks and a briefcase. Yes. Be looking all executive, kind of do the rapport thing, you know, where you mirror the person. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I feel like we're going on tangents, but this stream is mostly just to talk anyway, so.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your dream. Instantly traumatized.
So basically what happened was I'm not a person who has nightmares anymore. Witchy will attest to this. I just don't have nightmares anymore. It's very rare. So Witchy says that last night I was extremely restless.
Yeah, he was pretty restless.
Yeah. So I was like all kinds of tossing and turning, and I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
And I kept waking up, and she kept kind of putting me back to sleep. Don't remember any of that. And all I remember...
I'm suffering with insomnia currently, so he goes to sleep, let's say midnight, and I'm awake until like 3 or 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
what was that?
It's me, like, that's me approaching that brick wall. I have a tired brick wall that like, I'm a car going towards it 60 miles an hour every day, and there comes a point where I hit the tired brick wall, and I'm just done. And Witchy will try as hard as she can to be like, no, we have things to do. And I will be at the dinner table, like, spoon in hand with soup, just completely and totally gone.
And I say, everything, go to sleep.
Yeah, it's really funny because there just hits a point where it's like I'm not doing anything. It's done. So, but my dreams last night were.
Sorry, that was an alert here. Go ahead.
Okay, my dreams last night were weird, and they were disturbing in a way that I have not had dreams that disturbing in a long time. There was no violence of any kind. There was nothing like horrifying or gruesome or grotesque. It was just imagery and I don't know if I should even put a trigger warning, but maybe like creepy imagery is something that I could totally say as a trigger warning for this. But so like there was a point where I was like in a forest, and it was almost like the movie Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which I know this is sounding like it's not a bad dream right now, but the thing is there wasn't a Alan Silvestri like soundtrack in the background, and I wasn't like arm wrestling with Carl Weathers or anything. I was just like, I was in the middle of like the jungle in wherever Predator takes place. I'm thinking like,
who knows? I forget where it takes place.
But I was in a jungle, and I just felt something like watching me, and I'd look in the trees, and there would be something there, but I couldn't see it. But I knew it was there, and I kind of could see it, but I couldn't see it. And just, it was the creepiest feeling. And then I was teleported to the... I just saw a video about this a couple days ago. It was just like a quick video about like the tomb of the unknown soldier. It's actually terrifying because they have guards who like walk around like really, really robotic like, and then they turn and then they walk around. And when they do a change out of the guards like come out and they like look each other over to make sure they're all looking perfect, and then they switch and then the guards walk away. And when people like, there was like a lady who stepped over the chain because she wanted to take an Instagram selfie, and they literally stopped pointing at her and said, "Get back behind the line!" Yeah, it's terrifying.
Tangled said, it's a memorial to unknown soldiers. There are only 3 bodies buried in the tomb itself.
Really?
There's a whole ceremony that goes with it. Interesting.
That's fascinating. I don't know much about it. I just saw the video on it recently, so.
Yeah. Tangled had said, I should say unidentified soldier's body, not unknown. Yeah, I think unidentified is better. But either way, you know, I know what you meant.
But yeah, like it's really crazy. But then in my dream from the jungle, I got transported there, and like I was like, what the crap's going on? And there were people kind of walking around, and it was almost like they were trying to film something. I don't know, it was the weirdest thing. But then like this person shows up, and they're like a normal sized person, right? Like a full-on person. But then they have legs and arms that are like quadruple the size.
Jeez.
And their face is completely expressionless, and they have just 2 giant black holes for eyes. And they're just kind of like, they're like twiddling around like that.
Ew.
Like really fast. And then they would like come over and like look at me, and their heads would twist 180 degrees, and then they would just open their mouth, and then they would scurry away. And it was the weirdest, it felt so wrong. Like in dreams in the past, I've been like scared or spooked or this or that. This was a completely different level.
Yeah.
This almost felt like I was in the presence of something that was 100% not cool. And it like kind of didn't know I was there, but I was just kind of from an outside watching this thing kind of like do its thing. And like, and this kind of crap kept happening. This kind of stuff kept happening.
Sorry, my eyes are killing me. You can continue.
Tingle says, you need some salt, sir. Asher says, Muffin Wizard. That sounds like something from one of my night terrors, like freakishly. Yeah, oh, well, this gets really creepier. There was another point where the thing, like, turned in. Like, I was walking through, I was trying to leave the place, and then I came into a field. But then whatever this thing was, it was like an amorphous mass of just pure negativity. It, like, transformed into a giant baby's head, like a severed baby's head.
Jesus.
But it was like made out of obsidian, so it was completely black, but it had like this creepy smile on it, and it grew like 20 little baby legs out of the bottom, and it was just like scampering and jumping around as this like
sounds like
creepy...
the stuff from Alice.
It does kind of sound like the stuff from Alice, yeah, but like just weird crap like that, just the most disturbing imagery. And like I said, never attacked anyone, nothing crazy going on, nothing like that, but it like got me. I woke up and I like could not move.
You was shook.
And it wasn't that like oh no, I can't move, like my body's paralyzed.
Yeah, it wasn't sleep paralysis.
It wasn't sleep paralysis. It freaked me out so much that I just like grabbed my blankets and like tucked myself in, and I was like, I need a second to process this. You know what I mean? It's like I can't just get up. And part of me, like when I finally was able to move, I was like, okay, that was weird. That was weird. I'm just going to go back to sleep and start my day. I pick up my phone to check the time, and my alarm's going to go off in 6 minutes. Feel like I haven't had any sleep. Feel like I just slept like 20 minutes ago, right? Had these horrifying nightmares, and then woke up with no time to like try to go back to sleep. Witchy says that it was a good thing I didn't.
Yeah, because that kind of dream, when it's that intense, usually if you go back to sleep, in my experience, you'll just go back into either the same kind of dream or something similar, and it's just not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually you don't go to sleep and then have a happy dream, you know?
Yeah.
It's just better to get awake.
Yeah. I decided to get up. I had woken up like a bit earlier than I usually do, and I literally just like went and chillaxed. I like drew a hot bath, and I just sat in there just like my day started horribly. I'm gonna do something nice to just chillax myself right now. Listen to some like nice music and stuff. But the really creepy thing is, there was one night when I was getting food for Witchy and I. We went to...
It was when we were living in our old place.
Yeah, in our old place.
Apartment.
We went to...
The one with the craisins.
Was it Great Harvest Kneaders? It was...
I don't know. It was a sandwich place. I don't know if you went to pick up like takeout that day or if you went to like pick up an online supermarket purchase. Because I kind of feel like you might have done that.
I remember it was takeout.
Okay.
I think it was one of the sandwich places.
Tingle said, "OMG, I love Kneaders." Yes!
I think that's where it was.
We love Kneaders too.
I think I went to pick up Kneaders.
It's so good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Asher said, what's Kneaders? Oh, it's I guess it's a healthy-ish kind of takeout place. So I think they make their own bread, so it's kind of like a bakery. Yeah. But then they sell like healthy-ish sandwiches, soups, salads. Yeah. And then things like smoothies.
Note. Healthy compared to most fast food. Yes, it's a lot like Great Harvest.
Yeah, sometimes we used to get their like loaf of bread just to have fresh or dinner rolls,
or they also bake their own sweets like cinnamon rolls or
they have eclairs.
They have eclairs, yes.
Little like pies. They have a lot of nice stuff.
They do.
It's a little bit pricey compared to like just getting like a burger. Yeah. But it's not too pricey. I'd say it's just like slightly above. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. So I was coming back from picking up Kneaders, and I drove.
This is real life.
Yeah, this is real life. This is real. This isn't a dream. I pulled up and around the block and came down and drove a ways, and then eventually I came to.
He was getting near our house.
I came to one of the main roads. I was turning up, and there was a point where I was going to take a right from the main road off to the right. And I was actually on the phone with Witchy when I was about to turn right down this street.
Yeah, because I was at home.
And so here's the main street, right? Here, I was about to turn right here, right? And on the sidewalk walking this way was the freakiest thing I had ever seen, right? Now, I've lived in places that have a large homeless population. I've lived in places that don't. The place we used to live at was kind of somewhere in the middle. Yeah. It wasn't like a ton of homeless people, but there were a few walking around. Yeah. And I kind of just think it was a homeless person. But it was cold out.
Is that the correct term? Homeless person?
Homeless person? Yes.
Okay.
It is a person whom is homeless. Or at least that's, last I checked, that's the correct thing to say. If it has changed,
please let us know.
Please let me know.
Yeah.
It was cold out. It was, I believe, raining or had just rained, so it was very cold and wet out. And I was like all bundled up in the car. And I looked to the right, so as I'm driving up this road, and I prepared to turn right, just walking up the sidewalk here as I'm about to like turn, walking up the sidewalk here is this guy, almost exactly like I explained. He was tall, he had a really long neck, he had super long arms and legs, and he was walking super weird. His head was doing this back and forth, and his arms were kind of going like this. Yeah. It was really creepy, and his legs were like going like this.
And I was like, there's no way, no one walks like this, you know?
And I kind of figured maybe it was just like a homeless person who was just acting weird. But it was super creepy because I looked at his face, and it looked like his eyes were just black. Granted, it was dark out, but he was wearing a short-sleeved t-shirt and shorts. And so just this tall, lanky person, black eyes, like moving weirdly, like it was super freaky. And like I remember I went home to Witchy, and I was like,
what just happened?
And yeah, the person didn't like see me and then stop and then like continue on. I like turned, and as I was turning, they just kept walking like right behind me, like they didn't even see me. It was the weirdest experience.
So Tangled said, to my knowledge, that's correct about the term homeless. She was like, nope. Unfortunately, a lot of homeless people are tripping on something. Exactly. And so that's the thing. Like, not all homeless people are, but a lot of them are. Because, you know, it's freaking difficult to be homeless. So they resort to that kind of thing. And so sometimes you see some odd behavior. Mm-hmm. But this was, like, beyond that, right? Astrid said, did he look youngish?
When I saw the weird person, yes. They had like short brown hair, almost like it had been buzzed. And they had a medium light complexion. And he just kind of looked like a lanky guy, you know what I mean? His face was kind of angular-ish. His nose wasn't huge, but it definitely wasn't tiny. His ears kind of stuck out a little bit. But yeah, he was definitely somewhere between like 18 and 23.
I remember you were shooketh when you came home that day.
Yeah, I was super shook.
So, Tangled said, I think you're haunted by something, wizard. And sometimes, regarding the homeless people now, sometimes their addictions is what got them on the street in the first place. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Trans-dimensional weird-ass critter.
Right? Yeah.
So do you think maybe that day you saw an entity? It wasn't actually a person? Or do you think it was a person and maybe like the entity was kind of like
Glomped on?
Yeah, like it was an actual person, so that's why you saw them. Mm-hmm. But they were kind of like there too, so it was kind of like a, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Astrid says, asking because you might have seen a black-eyed children range in age from tiny to young adult late teens. And because you have a natural affinity for paranormal as witches, you could have seen it for what it is. Facade, maybe? The black-eyed children terrify me.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is they are proven to exist. Like...
Jesus.
Sorry.
No, we just almost had a heart attack here. We heard a squeak or screech.
It sounded like our front door was opening, but it's our neighbors.
Yeah.
That was funny. And the black-eyed children, what they do is they come through the front door.
Yeah, they like knock at your door, right?
Yeah. No, but there was apparently in England, a couple of black-eyed kids went up to a house and they were like insisting, and someone called the cops, and the cops came and arrested the black-eyed children, and there's like pictures of them out there. Yeah.
Okay, I look. Let's say allegedly, just because we can't say things are fact, you know?
That's true. Allegedly, it's a fact. Allegedly.
But, you know.
But, come
on. Astrid said, oh yeah, we've seen them in our neighborhood. And Will was like, no. He was just slowly, like, backing off while we stream. Astrid said, you have to invite them in. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. They knock at your door, I think, and then they say, "Can I come in?" And you have to like say no and like close the door and stuff, right?
Yeah, but the issue is because they're kids, your like instinct to protect them kicks in.
Yeah.
And so you desperately want to let them in. Yeah.
But you should not. Astrid
Whenever
said,
people do, they are either never heard from again, or adults come and pick them up. And when the adults pick them up and then they leave, the people who let the kids in get sick.
Ew.
Yeah, all kinds of weird, horrible stuff happen.
Astrid said, black-eyed children have been caught on those Ring camera things. Oh. Yeah, you know the cameras that people have on their doorbells?
Yeah. I want to go watch that footage now.
Those cameras are great. They've caught so many, like, criminals, like murders and stuff.
Yeah.
Because, like, the neighbor had that thing on their doorbell.
Yeah.
So that's really good.
But a whole new take on demonic spawn, right? But no, I don't think it was a black-eyed kid. I don't think it was a BEK. I think... Here's the thing. I have seen similar things before in my life. So I don't know what it is, but although horrifying and like gets me to my core, definitely something that I'm like aware of exists. To me, it's more just like, it's almost as if something, like the eyes are the window to the soul, right? So it's almost like something that is just this pure, massless, shapeless, formless, soulless, just form of pure negativity. It tries to pretend to be human, so it like literally puts on a human skin, you know, and there's no soul in the eyes. So, you know, when you interact with it, it's just eyeless, right? And it since it's formless and it doesn't know how to take the form of a person, its jaw will extend or its arms will get big or it walks weird because you know what I mean.
It's pretending, but it's not.
Yeah, it's almost like it's just a thing.
You said you had super Uncanny Valley vibes.
Oh yeah, that day it freaked me out. The reason why it freaked me out is because it literally looked like a robot or something.
Yeah. It's almost like Slender Man, isn't it?
Yeah, it looked kind of Slender Man-y, but it wasn't Slender Man.
No.
Because it was definitely
because of the long form, you know.
Yeah, it was definitely human sized, maybe just a tall human, like 6'2", 6'3". Slender Man's supposed to be huge, but yeah.
Yeah, no, Slender Man. Well, we know it's fictional. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Tangled said, "I'll take my ghostly experiences, thanks." Astrid said, "Gonna sleep with my curtains closed tonight and my window shut." Tangled said, "No kidding, Astrid, distorted, but Slenderman is fake." That was a story produced on horror stories. Yes, creepypasta, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What did Astrid say here?
They are proving that Slenderman is slowly becoming real due to mass belief.
Oh.
No. No.
Who knows? Maybe people, like, the collective consciousness is manifesting Slenderman into, like, reality.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I am definitely of the opinion that anything that you can come up, like that your mind, because the universe is infinite, so whatever your mind can think up at somewhere within the universe, it does exist.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, if this idea just gets planted of Slenderman, that probably exists somewhere within the universe, and if it is paranormal of some kind and an entire planet starts thinking collectively about it, it'd probably show up and be like, what the crap is everyone doing thinking about me? You know what I mean?
I personally like to keep an open mind to this stuff. I'm very skeptical for the most part, but I also don't take this stuff like too seriously. Like, I think that, stuff could be, stuff could not be, obviously I'm not just gonna like believe anything, but I'm also open to the idea that there might be stuff out there that we don't understand, Yeah.
The funnest thing, and the way that I tend to combat stuff like this, because I used to be tormented by nightmares as a kid. Just like, I can't even remember some of them, like, but I know that I would just be constantly terrified and tortured in my nightmares. And one time I was finally like, I forget where I came up with the idea, but I went and I was like, it was almost witchy, come to think of it. It was almost like this, where I went and I picked up a bunch of rocks from my mom's garden. I'm talking I was a kid. Like, I wasn't even a teenager. I was a kid. And I went and picked up a bunch of rocks from my mom's garden, and I put paint on them. I just got hardcore. What's it called? Déjà Vu.
Déjà Vu.
Like, we've done this before. Yeah.
Well, we have not. This is our first actual witchy stream.
That's weird, because I was literally sitting here and I saw the brown candle on the white candle and I saw the basil, and I was thinking about like a Star Trek episode that like scared me as a kid, and that was one of the things. And I was talking about the rocks, and I remembered like my home growing up as a kid, and I went, I've done this before. That's weird. That's been happening to me a lot lately.
Weird stuff.
But I picked up a bunch of rocks. I painted them different colors, and I was like, okay, this rock represents...
Stop tapping because of the mic.
Yeah, this rock represents fire. This rock represents water. And I made like a rock for everything I could think of. I had a green rock.
And you had no idea about witchcraft.
No.
Yeah.
And I took all of these rocks, and I said, because I have these rocks, they represent these things, I actually made a bag for them. Because remember, my mom has that like really old green Singer sewing machine. I actually it was a really horribly made bag, but I made a bag for them.
Okay.
And I put them in the bag, and I was like, each of these elements that these rocks represent, I now have control over in my dream.
Wow.
Right? And so I put it under my bed.
That's a great concept for a story.
Yeah. I put it under my pillow, And, sorry, not my pillow. I put it under my bed, and I was like, with this being here under my bed, when I go into my dreams, I will be able to control literally every element. Went into my dreams, literally since the day I did that, I have not had an instance where I have had a horrifying nightmare like the one I had last night.
Oh.
It was the weirdest thing. It was like because I had gotten to a point where I was like so in control, and I was like, no, I am taking control. My brain was like, okay, I'm not going to throw any scary stuff your way then.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm having these nightmares again, so.
Let's see what people are saying. Astrid said, the more you believe, more people believe, the more it generates the energy to become real. Oh, yeah, we had read that, I think. Ooh, Dresden Files talks about that. Is that Star Trek?
No. No.
What is that?
I think that's like a sci-fi horror show. My mom really likes it. She told me to get into it, but I never watched it.
Let us know, Astrid, what that is in case we're wrong.
Yeah.
Tangled said, I do think that evil critters observe what scares us as humans and take on those forms.
Yes.
Yes. Do you ever have deja vu so hard you can change the outcome of it?
No, I'm always like, I've done this before, but I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, I get a lot of deja vus. It comes in periods. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, during 3 months I have like so many in a row, and then it just stops for like a year, and then they come back. It's just, yeah. But I've had a lot of experiences with deja vu.
I guess I did get that really bad deja vu once. We were looking at mansions, and I was like...
Oh, the one with the road?
We were doing the road, and I was like, oh man, it'd be funny if we put on Mozart's Lacrimosa.
Oh, no,
And you put on the Evanescence version. And like I legit saw us dying, and it was terrifying.
I don't want to die.
And I basically told her like, turn that off, and like we need to leave this area right now. And as we were driving by, I like recognized the houses, and I had never been there before in my life. But like I was like coming up, there's like a wooden deck with like light strung up, and then as we passed this tree, I looked and there was a wooden deck with lights, and I was like, we're gonna die. And we tried to figure out a way through this kind of area to leave, and we did, and we didn't die, but that was a terrifying day.
Yeah. Let's see. Astrid said, perhaps the spell wore off. Dresden Files is an urban fancy... No, the mic.
Sorry.
A whodunit series. What does that mean?
That's like a detective, like somebody murders someone, and
murder
you have
mystery
to murder
kind
mystery,
of thing?
yeah, kind of thing. Like who done it?
Ah. Tangled said, yeah, same. Sometimes I'll have a lot, and then it'll stop for a while, regarding the deja vu. Astrid said, the Sci-Fi Channel had 1 season of this series, and it was canned. Aww. That sucks.
That's right, my mom told me that, yeah.
Tangled said, usually my deja vu is I don't know what happens, but once in a while I can change the end of it.
That's crazy.
Oh, Tangled said I can't hear the tapping, then you're good. You can tap dance away. Okay. So, have you said everything about your dream?
I think that's a bit about it, yeah. We're going to do some stuff tonight, to try and ward off whatever the crap this is. So,
yes.
2 thumbs up for me. Dreams are whack.
Astrid said, whodunit murder mystery. Harry Dresden is a PI who is often hired out by the cops. It's like a little synopsis. Agreed, wards away. Yes. Okay, let me open my notes here to see if we're missing anything. Anyways, so, full moon today, therefore we decided to do something witchy.